Brian Lehrer on WNYC. And we have a lot more to do on the show this morning, including the New York City Health Commissioner, Dr. Alistair Martin, who's going to talk about Legionnaire's disease, the city's attempts to remediate the problems in various buildings on the east side, and what you should do to protect yourselves. In the meantime, Dr. Martin will take your questions. That's coming up. Also, Rosanna Rosado, who's currently the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services Commissioner, but what we're mostly going to talk about is her time in journalism. Very interesting stories in her new book called Bronx Attitude, which includes a story from when she was an intern here at WNYC. So Rosanna Rosado coming up on her life in journalism as well as government. But we're going to break things up a little bit on this day of the second semifinal in the World Cup with a 10-question World Cup quiz. Have you been paying attention during the World Cup? Call in and get 2 in a row right, and we'll give you a WNYC bucket hat as a prize. 212-433-WNYC. Who wants to play? Call in 212-433-9692 if you've been paying attention to the World Cup. I will say, if you haven't been paying much attention to the World Cup, you probably won't get 2 in a row on this one. So for people who've been paying attention, we've got a WNYC bucket hat with your name on it. If you can get 2 in a row right in this 10-question 2026 World Cup quiz. For the rest of you, I think it's still going to be really entertaining, and you're going to learn some stuff that might just be fun to know before England and Argentina take each other on today. The winner will, of course, go to the final, which will be played in New Jersey on Sunday. So who wants to play? It's a 10-question World Cup quiz. Have you been paying attention during the tournament? 2 in a row right, you'll win a WNYC bucket hat, 212-433. WNYC, 212-433-9692. And this is WNYC FM HD and AM New York, WNJT FM 88.1 Trenton, WNJP 88.5 Sussex, WNJY 89.3 Netcong, and WNJO 90.3 Toms River. We are New York and New Jersey Public Radio. Remember those words, New York, New Jersey. It might be an answer to a quiz question. And we'll do that quiz right after this. Brian Lehrer on WNYC. All right, now to our 10-question quiz on the World Cup 2026. Have you been paying attention during the tournament? Get 2 in a row right and win a WNYC bucket hat. Jeff in Stamford, you're on WNYC. Hi, Jeff. Ready to play?
I'm ready to play.
All right. If you've been paying attention, then we can say this first one is just to see if you're awake. One team has already booked their trip to the final. Who is it?
Spain.
Spain is right. They beat France in the first semifinal yesterday afternoon. They will face Argentina or England, who play the second semifinal this afternoon at 3. Question 2 for a bucket hat. What venue is slated to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup final as known by FIFA?
New York, New Jersey Stadium.
That is exactly right. New York, New Jersey Stadium. People around here generally call it MetLife Stadium, but they're not allowed to use a company name, I gather, in conjunction with anything World Cup related, unless that company is paying the World Cup, FIFA, for a sponsorship. So it is New York, New Jersey Stadium. Hang on, Jeff. We'll take your address, and we'll send you a bucket hat. Next, Eric in Westfield. Hi, Eric. Ready to play?
I'm ready to play.
All right, another FIFA rule. Question 3. This one about political imagery. It forced one team to change their uniforms. Those uniforms depicted a scene from the country's revolution. The question is, can you name that country, that team or that country?
Oh, that's a lot harder than the first two.
It is harder than the first two, but, you know, that's the nature of contests. I'll give you a clue
Egypt?
if you need one. I didn't hear that.
Sure.
I'll give you a clue if you need one, which is that revolution was not very well received by the United States at the time? Not so far
Iran.
from us. Ooh, sorry. That was a good guess because not very well received by the United States. But it was Haiti. Haiti had to change their uniforms because they depicted a scene from that country's revolution. All right, next. Sean in Bed-Stuy. You're on WNYC. Ready to play?
Yes. What's up, Brian?
Okay.
Long-time listener. I'm very excited about this.
Glad you're on. Question 4. Which co-host nation had the tournament's youngest player, 17-year-old midfielder Gilberto Mora?
Mexico.
Mexico is right. Question 5
Give me
for
a
a
hard
bucket
one.
hat. Donald Trump, this may be an easy one. Let's see. Donald Trump faced political irony when he intervened with FIFA to overturn a World Cup suspension for U.S. men's soccer player Folarin Balogun, whose eligibility to play for the United States relies entirely on what constitutional protection? Do you understand the question?
Oh, that's confusing.
Okay, so
Wait, he got red carded.
Donald Trump faced political irony when he intervened with FIFA to overturn a World Cup suspension for U.S. men's soccer player Folarin Balogun. The question is, and this is why it was ironic for Trump, Balogun's eligibility to even play for the United States relied on birthright citizenship is right.
Yeah.
He was born in this country, even though his mother didn't want to bear him in this country. She was trying to get back to their home country of England, but she was so pregnant that, if I understand the story, they didn't let her on the plane. So he got born here before they went home, and poof, he's a birthright citizen. Okay, you win a bucket hat.
We blame Trump for the law.
That maybe it gave extra motivation to Belgium, perhaps, because they felt they were being cheated out of a suspension that would have benefited them. That is certainly possible. Let's see. How about Luke is up next in Manhattan. Hi, Luke. Ready to play?
Absolutely. Ready as I'll ever be.
Question 6 in this 10-question quiz. And this may be a hard one. This is probably one of the hard ones. Which 2026 World Cup team has the most foreign-born players on their squad? Multiple choice, though. The United States, Curacao, or Bosnia and Herzegovina?
I believe it's Curacao, and they're all Dutch-born.
Oh, that was the next question. You get a bucket hat. Boom. It was Curacao, where only one of the 26 players on the squad was born in Curacao. And yeah, the next question was going to be that since Curacao made the World Cup and made history as the smallest nation ever to qualify, where was everybody else in the squad born? And the answer is the Netherlands, which bore 25 of the 26 players. And it makes sense if you know a little bit about history, because Curacao is a Dutch colony. So way to go, Luke. Hang on. We're going to take your address off the air, and we'll send you a WNYC bucket hat. Laura in Brooklyn, ready to play?
I am.
Okay. Here is, what are we up to? Question 8 in this 10-question quiz. The World Cup has 3 official mascots, one for each host nation. Of course, the U.S., Mexico, and Canada are the host nations. Can you name the animal that's any one of the 3 mascots?
Yes, I think I can name all 3.
Ooh.
I think it's a moose, an eagle, and a leopard.
Absolutely right. A bald eagle for the U.S. Well, a jaguar. I don't know if that's the same as a leopard. But
I think those are technically the same, but I defer to you.
But somebody can look that up for us and text us. Is a jaguar the same thing as a leopard? But the question was, you only needed to get one. And yes, a bald eagle, a jaguar, and for Canada, a moose. They are Clutch, the bald eagle, Zayu, the jaguar, and Maple, the moose, to be really specific. So question 9 for a bucket hat. This is expected to be the final World Cup of a legendary South American player's career. Heading into the semifinals, he was one of the tournament's top scorers even now, with 8 goals. Can you name him?
Lionel Messi.
Lionel Messi is right. Superstar. And way to go, Laura. You win yourself a WNYC bucket hat. Hang on and we'll take your address off the air. And, well, we only have one question left. So Marcel in Glendale is going to get the one question left privilege that we have in these quizzes, which, Marcel, if you only get one question right, because we only have one left, you'll win a bucket hat. Ready to play?
I'm ready, Brian.
And the question is, question 10, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security barred one team from staying overnight in this country for any of the World Cup matches, forcing it to fly in from Mexico, play, and fly straight back out the same day every single time. Which team?
I think Iran.
Iran is exactly right. For obvious, whether or not justifiable reasons, Marcel, way to go. You win yourself a bucket hat, too. Hang on, we'll take your address off the air. Okay, listeners, that was fun. Glad we were able to break it up a little with a 2026 World Cup 10-question quiz. A lot of you who called in have been paying attention, and the semifinal is 3 o'clock this afternoon. The final will be Sunday. That's a traffic story. If you're not going to the game, don't forget, Sunday at MetLife or New York, New Jersey Stadium.
WNYC's journalism and storytelling is heard by millions of passionate listeners. Sponsors of our programming gain our listeners' attention and their respect. Learn about how your organization can support WNYC and WNYC Studios at sponsorship.wnyc.org.
The United States is about to mark its 250th anniversary.
And so, on the Global Story podcast from the BBC, we're telling surprising tales of American influence on the world stage and in ordinary people's lives all across the globe.
We have this ability to export our story, and a lot of people have bought it.
I feel like the American dream is alive but not well.
From the BBC, it's the United States at 250.
Listen wherever you get your podcasts or find us on YouTube.